The prominent US Muslim theologian, Sheikh Yasir Qadhi, has said he has been cancelled by an unnamed European university because of his normative Islamic views on the LGBT issues. One thing that I want you to understand, this unnamed university doesn't want to come in front of the public because looks like it is trying to save its face. Okay, that's what it looks like. As you can see right here, Yasir Qadhi he actually spoke about it, saying that this is what happened, LGBT. In a social media post, he said, merely disagreeing with some lifestyle and preaching mainstream, quote-unquote, mainstream Abrahamic morality to your own children or co-religionists will get you blocked or fired from your job. Subhanallah, this is true. If you think about it, dear brothers and sisters, right now, it has become part of the acceptance in our society for anyone to believe that LGBTQ are normal as anything else. If you believe anything otherwise, you can lose your job, you can be even kicked out from many places. They will not even welcome you, saying that you are not tolerant. Obviously, what happened with Yasir Qadhi, we know he was kicked out, he was cancelled simply because of his views. And we know Yasir Qadhi, his views on LGBTQ is not as strong as a lot of people would expect. In fact, there are a lot of videos on YouTube that criticized Yasir Qadhi for not being strict enough against the LGBT. Nevertheless, he got cancelled. Islam strictly prohibits homosexual acts, but Muslims are coming under increasing pressure in Western societies to conform to a secular liberal beliefs on the LGBTQ issues. Obviously, Muslims, as I said, we are facing a lot of pressure in the West. We are facing a lot of, wallahi, like the situation is getting so overwhelming. So for so many even Muslim families, that you do not even now dare to talk against them. The best you can do is to keep quiet. And this thing is not going to go away anywhere anytime soon. Dear brothers and sisters, we have to deal with this situation, with this issue for a very long time. And I mean, speaking on YouTube to you guys right now about this issue, I might even be deplatformed. Who knows? They might kick me out from YouTube one day, saying that you don't agree with this, so we are not going to have you talk about it on our platform. I have been scheduled to present an online paper at an academic conference hosted by a European university on an abstract topic in theology, quote unquote. That's what he said. He was supposed to be presenting an online paper. It's not even, in-person writing, in-person conference or meeting. You can imagine if it was, a face-to-face discussion, if it was like a panel discussion, that's what they call. You can imagine what would have happened. I mean, they would probably ban him forever. But because it is an online thing, I guess they are, for now, just canceling it. Obviously, in the future, very likely they will not invite him to write any paper online on this topic. Then he said, today, because of my comments on the LGBTQ+ issue and a lobbying campaign against me, I was informed that my name had been withdrawn and I'm not allowed to speak due to pressure placed on the institute. So the institute is being dominated, not only this university in Europe, wherever it is, but also places, even workplaces, school, wherever you go. These places, the government office, these places are dominated by this LGBTQ movement. If you are not adhering, if you are not okay with their demand for equality, with the demand of taking or accepting them for whoever they are, whatever they are, you will be under tremendous pressure. You can lose your job. You can be, subhanallah, what I suspect what will happen in the future with that, you would probably even end up going to jail because you are not accepting what they call human rights. They will make it a human rights issue, and they will say you do not accept that every human, they deserve their rights to be preserved, therefore this is a criminal offense, and throw you in jail. That's what might happen. I do not know. And then he said, please note that my paper topic has nothing to do with the LGBTQ plus issue, but with a totally independent topic about Ibn Taymiyyah. Yet still my comments on alternative lifestyle apparently makes my mere online presence forbidden. So you can imagine how intolerant things are becoming. He is not being cancelled for writing this online paper on LGBTQ. He was cancelled because of his views in general, his views on the LGBTQ. You can imagine if this was a LGBTQ paper, he would have probably faced a much more harsher criticism. But whatever happened was harsh enough. That's what I can say for now. But so this is not a paper on LGBTQ. This is about Ibn Taymiyyah, and still they managed to cancel him. I thank Allah that I'm not at all dependent on academia, either for my sustenance or for any credibility, but people need to understand the power of various groups out there and the cost for standing up to alternative lifestyles. Is it not ironic that those who claim to preach love and tolerance sometimes show the most blatant hatred and intolerance? He asked this question, end quote. It is true. We have seen movements. What happened in Pakistan few weeks ago, there was this march, Jannah march or Aurat march. I think Aurat march that took place in Pakistan. Aurat march basically means women's movement or woman march. Okay, in that protest, I think they were protesting or they were gathering in one place. They were demanding for equal rights for men and women. They were not happy with what Allah Azza wa Jalla has given to us through Quran and Sunnah. They were gathering in a Muslim country. I'm not talking even about in Western country. Aurat march took place in Pakistan, in a Muslim country. They were saying, we are not happy with what Quran has given us, what Sunnah has given us. We want more. These are our demands that you must fulfill. So Yasir Qadhi is saying that even though these groups, they are supposed to be a group of love and compassion and kindness, because I have a person in my life. I know her from work. She said on her social media post, she is a LGBTQ person. She said that we cannot say no to love. I'm like, wallahi, like this person is just she just lost it. But anyways, so they stand up for love. They preach love. But then when it comes to other people not accepting or agreeing with what they believe in, then they show hatred and intolerance. This is very, very ironic, and this is very, very true. Sadly, he said, this is just the beginning, and the situation will in all likelihood get worse. Of course, wallahi, brothers and sisters, a time will come, if you verbally or in written, if you don't agree with them, and if you let's say you will apply for a job, okay, you're going for a job and you're applying for a job, they will not only ask you verbally, are you okay with LGBTQ, and then you have to say yes, but also they will ask you to write it down or sign on a piece of paper saying that you're okay with LGBTQ and that you accept them for who they are and you love them, you care for them. That day, I personally believe is coming, that we will have to say it out loud, support it, not keep quiet, not be neutral, but say it out loud that yes, I love them, they are just like myself and anybody else. And if you don't do that, wallahi, you will be an outcast. Sadly, this is just the beginning. That's what he said, end quote. Okay, so agreed, we should not advocate hatred or violence, but in a liberal society, why should I not be able to teach my children or preach to my congregation about our religious values? There are dark times ahead. Allah help us, end quote. So again, Yasir Qadhi is painting a very grim, a very gloomy picture for the Muslim community, especially living in the West. saying that if we, dear brothers and sisters, do not confirm with these beliefs of the LGBTQ, then the hard time is just around the corner. And a lot of us can agree with that. We are not people who hate other people. We are Muslim people. We're people of understanding, ulul albab, that Allah Azza wa Jal called us in the Quran. We are people of da'wah. We are not people of arguments. We are not people of fighting and shouting. But if we are being pushed to the point where nobody will really listen to anything that we have to say, then that is the time you can expect that the world will lose all its morality. Wallahi, that will be the time. Let's hope that these things will get resolved as soon as possible. But again, we don't think that will be the case, but we can always hope and pray Allah will guide these people and that He will forgive all of us. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, like this video if you did, share this video, and inshallah I will see you soon again. Assalamu alaikum.